Welcome to Saron Things, pop culture podcast where we chit chat about this week's trending topics, at least the ones that I care about. I am your host, Saron Olkaba. How are y'all doing? I promise I'm not going to start every podcast like that. I have no idea why that comes so naturally. Like that's the first thing that comes out of my mouth, and it's off brand. I don't use the word y'all in my everyday vernacular, so you're right to be weirded out if you are. Okay. Anywho, I must say, the podcasting, the back end technical stuff, it's hard. It's not easy. So give the people who are doing this on their own without a producer some fucking credit, because my God, has this been a journey? I somehow recorded like a 45-minute episode without any sound. How does one do that? How do you do that? I don't know. But I did. I tried to find the sound everywhere. I looked everywhere. I up, down, all around. It was nowhere. So now we're doing this all over again, and I don't know. I don't know. I got a beer because that's the only way I can do this again. And who knows if I'll even fucking edit this shit. I can't think about this anymore. Okay. I can't think about this anymore. I need to calm my energy down. I have animals to think about. They can't feel this radiating off of me. Think of the kids are on. Okay. So let's just dive head on first into the pop culture stuff. I just finished watching Summer House, so that is very much top of mind. The episode very much was about Carl's launching his soft bar. And if you recall, last season when Carlito and Lindsay were still an item, he pitched her this non-alcoholic sports bar that she just shot down, rightfully fucking so. And he even admitted in the after show for this episode that she was absolutely right about that. So that's good. But he decided to take the same vibe in a different direction, still a non-alcoholic, brick and mortar establishment, but like a cafe. And he said something about mushrooms. I feel like we glazed right over that in this episode. They were like, if you want to add a friend onto the drink. So Carl threw a party for his new non-alcoholic bar, whatever, non-alcoholic bar, I guess, called Soft House. And I think it's a fucking incredible name. He told a story in the after show about how he was going to name it something stupid, like something Soft House, like adjective Soft House, because he assumed Soft House had already been taken, right? And so he was in the process of trademarking like the original name, and it was taken, I believe. Or someone, I don't know how they ended up doing this, but the person who was doing the trademarking was just like, do you want to try and see if you can get the trademark for Soft House? And Carl was like, there's no way. But the trademark person was like, let's look. And it turned out that the trademark for Soft House had just expired that day. So of course they jumped on it. And so he has trademarked this it couldn't be a better name for what he's trying to create. That being said, am I wary about the product, about the whole concept? Absolutely. But oh my God, no, I digress. He threw this party to launch the drink. It was like a tester friends and family, a la like Schwartz and Sandy's. You know what I mean? Like, you know how they had people coming in for a very long time before they opened, just to have something tangible that I guess they could film. That is exactly what has happened here. And at that mixer function that he threw at Friends and Family soft launch for Soft House that he threw in New Jersey, there was a moment where he was like, oh, do you want to add a friend to your drink? And he said something about mushrooms. And I don't know if we're talking psilocybin or if we're talking ashwagandha, because those are two different two different experiences. All right. One you can get on Amazon, the other not, although it is legal in Washington, D.C. So you can acquire that legally, I believe. Don't quote me, actually. Google that before you before you make any moves. Okay, anyways. So Soft House is a thing. Will it be a successful thing? I don't know. The mushroom part kind of reinvigorated my hope for it, because at least there's a little something that's going to be going on. Otherwise, just say you're opening a fucking cafe. Just call it a cafe. I like the branding for that a lot better. You know, you can franchise that shit. Who knows? But I don't know. Especially if you're going to be selling mocktails that are the same fucking price as cocktails, I feel like that's such a hard sell. And if you're not doing that, how are you going to make up that margin? But he's saying he's going to be selling coffee as well. Oh no, the psilocybin. Okay. If it's psilocybin, I see how you make up the margin. I see. If it's ashwagandha, I'm sorry, boo. Ashwananda. As long as I'm laughing, guys. That's all that matters. Okay. So, so in the episode, Carl said something about, we hope to have doors open in their like brick and mortar establishment by January 2025. Obviously, that date has passed, but in the after show, he did say that they have a lease secured, and that they have a launch, like an opening date of this summer. So that's really exciting. I really actually think this is going to happen. And he says he's invested $100,000 in this. USD. Okay? American dollars, $100,000, liquid cash, dinero. I don't know. Woo! Makes me. Woo! I don't know. That's a big fucking number, and that is quite a risk. But he said that he's okay with failing if he doesn't make up that that number. Then at least he tried and failed, and that I fucking respect. It's not like a Schwartz and Sandy's type situation where your mother is giving you her retirement. $250,000 just for the fucking place to close a couple years later. Okay. This is a different ball game. It's his money. It's money you can lose. He feels like he can lose, and it is what it is. Oh my God. Speaking of Carl, fuck his bar. Oh my God. This whole episode was like very Carl centric, and like, good for you, Queen. Good for you. Zaboomafoo. That's my like nickname for him from now on. Zaboomafoo. I don't remember if that's how the song goes, but it's just like, Okay. So, the girl, Lily. What is Gabby doing? And why is she doing it? Okay, I don't understand what that was. That moment that she relayed back to Lindsay was not enough. You needed more detail. So there was a moment where Gabby and the girl that Carl is talking to, Lil, standing in a circle with like Imrul, and she's just like casually talking about how she knows how she and Carl met, and somehow Carl and her parents met prior to her ever meeting him. And the question was asked like, so like in the summers when you guys started talking, and she was like, yeah, but and then it was clarified like something about her parents, and she was like, yeah, no, we started like, I've known him since like summer of last year. It was such a like nebulous, just vague, very much unclear conversation that the fact that she relayed that back to this pregnant lady, like, and this pregnant lady, Lindsay, I'm only saying like this pregnant lady because like, shouldn't she be chilling? Like, when I'm pregnant, I expect no one to come to me about anything that could stress me out whatsoever. I don't know if that's unrealistic, but that's where I'm at. I'm sure life will slap me in the face, but I surely in at this stage in my life of all the pregnant people that I know, I certainly don't go out of my way. If I'm going to stress them out, I'm going to know the details before I do so. And they got to be accurate. So that interaction with Lily was not enough to be doing all of that. So she tells, so Lindsay walks away from her conversation with Gabby thinking that Carl has definitely started talking to Lily before they ever ended their relationship. And she's fucking fired up. She's fucking fired up. She's ready to tussle. She's ready to tussle. And Carl doesn't know the heat that's coming to him. But Lily Gal, aka Joe in a different font, like those two very much have the same aura. The Instagram account your moms are watching, I believe, said it, that her and Joe are basically the same person. And I completely agree. Like, you know, he described her as quirky. Kill me. Kill me if a man that I'm interested ever describes me as quirky. Not that it's like a bad thing to be described as. It's just not the energy I think I'm bringing forth into this world. And I would not appreciate it. Anywho, what was I saying? Oh, so it is relayed to Lindsay that that Carl had started talking to this girl prior to ever breaking up with her. So Lil today pops up on her Instagram and does a screenshot because she had said, and then I slid into his DMs. And she goes a screenshot of the DM, the beginning of it, and it says October. And he broke up with her in September. So she said something very sassy. She was like, I don't know where you went to school, but where I went to school, I learned that like October comes after September and like tea. She is not wrong. And she's sassy. I like it. I like it. That was a clapback. That was not Joe. That was not Joe energy. Joe is nonsense. There's never been a connecting thought or idea. There's darkness, right? Not so much with Elle. She's just like a quirky gal who makes her own clothes. And oh my God, some of the comments that I saw, because in the episode she had this like matching set on and Carl was like, oh, you look so cute. And she was like, I made it. And there were a lot of comments saying, yeah, we can tell. And just like, shut the fuck up. Okay. She's crafty. Could you do that? She said there might be a few rogue like pins keeping it together, but like, have you seen some of these like influencer brands? I'm sure, and she did that for like $7 from Jones Fabrics. Okay, these influencers are gluing fabrics together, calling them like cute matching sets, charging you $100. Let Lil live. Let Lil live. Anyways, so she obviously Carl was not cheating on her. Carl, I don't know. I don't know, but I pray that he finds success in all of his endeavors. Okay? Let's leave it at that. I do. And I know the heat that's coming for him is she's activated. And she's got this pregnancy hormone, so I feel like that might be like superpower stuff. And how much can you yell back at a pregnant woman? Right? So you just kind of got to sit there and take it. So good luck taking the lashings for something you did not do, Carl. Yikes. All right, what else happened in that episode? Jesse Solomon, why the fuck is he even trying? Why are you trying to date this woman? Someone, I can't remember who it was on Instagram, I saw it was like, he's love bombing her. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's actually what this is, because does this man, they're clearly not together now, right? I do not think that they are together because this is not The Bachelor. They don't have to hide the status of their lives right now because of the storyline of what's occurring on Summer House. You know, it's not a will they or won't they. They would be very clearly together in life. Like we would be able to tell they'd be boyfriend and girlfriend at this point, almost a year later. But that's not the case. And like Paige just said in the after show, she was like, oh, Jesse's texted me 5 times being like, I can't wait, since the breakup was announced with her and Craig. Like, he's like, oh, I can't wait. Are you so excited for the summer? If he was still with Lexi, that would not be a thing. So obviously they are not together anymore. So obviously Lexi will be back next season. And that will be, oh my God, he's gonna have his West Sierra season. This is almost like poetry, you know? He the toe thing, I actually, based on nothing but my gut, a la Garcelle, I think that it was more than just like a toe suck, because he was in there for 37 seconds. I don't think it was a he toe suck. I think it was I don't know. And Imrul said he wanted to stay and watch. And Imrul, I fully believe, saying that is what to, I don't know. What is the girl that left and came back and was like that ghost of castmates past-ish, and she came in with Lexi. What the fuck is her name? Anyways, bitch, why would I even know? She's been here for Winifred? What is it? Okay, anyways. So I think that Imrul saying to whoever that Jesse had a toe in his mouth was definitely pushed by production, right? Although I still think that this is going to be Imrul's last season. He's giving one and done. It can't just be about you bringing random women home. There has to be some spice within like the house and with the castmates. But I'm motherfucking Grace, the toe thing. So I don't think that Imrul would have like thrown him under the bus or just brought it up if it wasn't pushed by production. He doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. But I don't. But as he said that, he also said that Jesse wanted to watch. So Jesse was in that room for 37 minutes. So he might not have partaken with them, but he might have been partaking in a different way, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Like, I would put my money on that is what happened. Because, like, I mean, and he's not just watching there being like, oh, interesting, like taking notes. Like, Imrul, I don't really do it like that. Oh, interesting. How do you get your leg that way? That's not, no. He was an active, non-contact participant is what I think. All right. And that's as far as I'm going to go with that. But I'd also like to, oh my God, the animation. Also, I guess I did have more to talk about. All right. Anyways, so I did mention this before. The relationship between Sierra and Wes last summer and Jesse and Lexi this summer, I feel like they're very much mimicking and mirroring one another. I think that Jesse's doing a lot more gaslighting than Wes did. I think it was a more normal progression given, oh my God, in the after show, Lexi said that it was that weekend that was on this episode that Jesse told her, I love you. He said, I love you to her, guys. Jesse told that girl, I love you, either the weekend of that kickball game or the weekend before, when he was telling her about the weekend that he was toe sucked without telling her about the toe suck game. Like, that's literal love bombing. You've known her for max a month at that point. And to be fair, with my last relationship, it was a solid 2 months before we said I love you. I said I love you first. He said it back. Thank God. I mean, he's alive. Yeah. I wish, no, that was not a joke. Anywho, so that's like the fucking definition of love bombing. I commend Lexi for being like, bitch, this is what I want. These are the rules. If you can follow the rules, then we can do this. He said, I can follow the rules. I want to follow the rules. He's lying. He's going to have sex with her, just like Wes had sex with Sierra. And then he's going to break her sweet little Canadian heart. How about that? It's inevitable. It's literally completely, history is absolutely repeating itself. So I don't foresee anything good coming from that. Yeah, and I think that's all for Summer House, I believe. He tells Lexi Emerald. Oh, I think this is Gabby's last season. I hate to say it, but I gotta say it. Like, I think this is Gabby's last season. I was trying to think of the last time, like, uh, Gabby put a little pep in my step. Like, I went, that's a little something, something. And it was when Gabby and Danielle had their little tiff when Danielle was throwing herself at the balloon guy, if you guys recall. When Bravo did her so dirty and showed far too much of them hooking up. You know, it was not good. I would take a break. I would take a pause after that as well. Honestly, like, someone in production doesn't fucking like her. I have never, my puritanical ass, but truly, I was going to talk about David Beckham's, like, ex-mistress, but I don't think there's really much there. I mean, if you didn't know, David Beckham, his ex-assistant came forward a long time ago about a night where Victoria was out of town and she and David went out to some club and he seduced the pants off of her, literally. And she came forward to the press not very long after, obviously. And now, like, I think maybe decades later, she's come out again saying, I just really want people to believe me. And my take on this is, I think people believed you before. Like, I think that you are telling the truth. I just think that people don't really care anymore. My take is, if Victoria doesn't care, I don't care. Like, she's stayed with this man and she seems happy and she doesn't seem to be asking for our help. Okay, like, I don't understand what the point of bringing it up again is, unless she's claiming that she was, like, coerced or something nefarious is afoot. Then please, but just to no, like, we know. Okay. And that's truly how I feel about that. Like, he's denying it still. Okay, like, sure. I don't know. Is he a saint? I don't think so. I didn't expect him to. Like, I just don't think the public cares. And I think that this is something that I didn't read myself, but it was regaled to me within, I think, another podcast. I don't know which one it was. Maybe it was Heather McDonald. Anyways, she was interviewed about what it was that was, like, very hard about the fallout from people finding out about the affair between her and David Beckham. And she said something along the lines of, it was really hard. She gained some celebrity along the way. It wasn't a Monica Lewinsky situation where she was just, like, shoved away and, like, she hid and became a hermit. I mean, I guess after her purse line. That just popped into my brain. I didn't remember that before. Monica Lewinsky did a bag thing. Anyways, Monica Lewinsky didn't gain. She became infamous. She did not become, like, famous. This girl became kind of like C-list celebrity famous for a bit, and she said that when that started to fade away, that was pretty tough for her, and I found that respectable. I appreciate that honesty. Like, she wasn't like, oh, I really loved him and he did me wrong. She said, oh, talking about it got me some press and made me somewhat of a household name in the UK. And when people stopped caring as much, then that was hard to get used to. And I enjoy that kind of honesty, because good. Better her that than her making it something else in order to stay relevant. So but that's really that's all I feel about that. If you guys disagree and find her to be some I don't know, sympathetic character, not that I'm not sympathetic to her, I just don't. It feels like a nothing burger. Okay. Next, what I do want to talk about is the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. Part 1. I would like to say, within the first 10 minutes of this episode, I was like, oh, this is going to be a tough one for Garcelle. They came locked and loaded. All right. Honestly, I knew it was going to be good. I really enjoyed it. When we started off with it felt like Dorit was what is it called? Was deposing Kyle. She was like, "Oh, Kyle, oh when okay, I remember this." Andy asked, "Do you feel, Kyle, that Dorit was playing it up and being extra aggressive because she was afraid for her position on the show?" And Kyle said, "At times I kind of did. I kind of did. I'm sorry." Mm. And then Dorit was like, "Oh, so you're a really good friend." Like, she literally lawyered her. She was like, "So you're very good friends with executives and like higher ups at Bravo, right?" And Kyle was like, "Yeah." And so she was like, "So you would know things about casting and whatnot before they happen. Like you would know if my job was on the line." And Kyle was like, "Yeah," which I think is actually kind of fucking crazy. I don't think that's fun or fair. And also, like, who the fuck, what bodies does Kyle know about? How has she embedded herself so deeply within Bravo that she's fucking untouchable? She's miserable doing this job, by the way. She looks like she looks miserable 70% of the time. I am so glad that she has found sobriety. And I think that sobriety has potentially found her like greater happiness within her life off camera. But I think it has made being on camera and being on reality TV painful. At like literally, she looks like she's pained by this entire thing. So I don't know. She's, as far as I know, she's rich as hell. I don't know why she continues doing the show. Obviously, the fame of it all matters to her, right? And her tagline this season is "The hills have eyes and they're all on me." Um, and she's been very vocal about how she doesn't like being followed, and it's just like all a bit much with her relationship, her marriage ending, and the Morgan Wallen and lesbian stuff. Like, and I think she's like she's having a hard time with all of the eyes that are watching her. But obviously, you want the eyes watching you because you are doing the show, and you don't have to do the show, but you do it anyways. And I would feel so fucking. How do you expect people to have a normal relationship, authentic relationship with Kyle if she is somewhat on a pedestal on the back end? I feel like Lisa Vanderpump, there was a bit of that. Perhaps that was why Kyle was up her ass for so long. But I don't know. I would find that a bit unsettling in general. But anywho, I digress. Uh, Dorit was like, "So you would know." And she was like, "So, but that wasn't the case, was it?" And she was like, Kyle was like, "Right, that wasn't the case. So, Kyle, why would you think that I was acting up for the cameras if you yourself said that you would know if my job was, on the line? Like, why would you think I was acting up for the cameras, trying to save my job if you knew that wasn't even an issue?" And Kyle was gagged. She was goop. She was gagged. She was like, "That's just how I feel." And that was it. We moved on. There was nowhere else to go. And that set the tone. That set the tone for the rest of the fucking reunion. And then after that, we shifted to Garcelle. And Garcelle had herself a time. And I put a TikTok out yesterday where I said, is it not insane that Garcelle would, on national television, accuse Dorit's family of orchestrating what's it called again? The home invasion, where she has all of this PTSD and trauma from. Is it not insane that Garcelle is just saying that she believes that Dorit's family orchestrated this whole thing based on only her gut? Is that not fucking crazy? And a lot of people were like, no, actually, it's not crazy at all, because a lot of people think it. And I even said, I don't blame her for fucking thinking it, but she knows her. She's in her circle. This is a person that you have to interact with. And it's such a reckless allegation, I believe, to throw out there without any information. And it makes me wonder, to what end? Like, what is Okay, Magnum PI. If you don't think it's Dorit, and that means that Dorit is obviously a victim, right? Because and you were like, oh, what? This is the part that really confused me as well. Dorit was like, oh, so you're saying, she said, I don't think it's Dorit. I never said it was Dorit. I don't believe it's Dorit. And Dorit was like, well, then you're saying it's PK. And she was like, and Garcelle goes, I never said it was PK. I never said it was PK. Don't put words in my mouth. Okay, girl. Who the hell else did it? Who are you? Who are Ghost of Christmas Past? Was it Jagger? I don't know. Did Andy come in? I don't know. Boy George? Was it Boy George? I don't know who it could possibly be if it wasn't. So obviously, she is implying that it is PK. And what she has is all the information that the public has at this point, and that is absolutely not enough. You might think it's fishy, right? But that is not enough to just outright say, I think that your husband or your family set this up, especially when you think that she wouldn't know and is also a victim to this circumstance. I just don't understand what the point of it is. And just strategically, it sets her up for too much. It sets her up for too much because the reasonable thing for all of those women to do is to say, that's too much. And that's what they're going to do. And she should expect that. And Sutton's not going to back her up. And good for Sutton. That's a suicide mission. You're asking for her to throw herself into the fiery pits of Mordor. Don't do it, Sutton. Don't do it. Dear Lord. So I'm like, listen, a lot of people, some lovely lady put in my comments that people really struggle to hold Garcelle accountable because of the kind of pedestal that people, Black women, at least myself, I have her on somewhat of a pedestal, have about her. Like, she represents a lot. She represents a shift in the Housewife franchise, especially with like the echelon that Beverly Hills is in, you know? And the vibe changed in a good way after she came aboard. So a lot of people just don't want to fuck with that. And even if they disagree with her, they won't bring it up. But I think that kind of does that feels dishonest, and I can't do that well. So I'm just gonna be honest. And I will say that this is certainly not, I love her, and it's certainly not enough to make me hop off of the Garcelle train. I still love her down. She's wonderful. I just don't agree with this move, but guess what? I'm already past it. Next topic. Okay. What is the problem with DeuxMoi not having DeuxMoi? DeuxMoi. Okay. What is the problem with DeuxMoi not having Black friends? Listen, I think it's weird to not have a multicultural friend group, especially when you live in a multicultural area. It's weird. It's a choice. I believe that it's a choice that you make. It doesn't happen to you. And I do not believe that someone who has chosen, whilst living in the most okay, let me start this over. Why is it a problem that DeuxMoi doesn't have any Black friends? I'll tell you. I don't think that anyone who lives in a multicultural area like California, Los Angeles, at least, New York, or the tri-state area, and they don't have a multicultural friend group, that's a choice. That's an absolute choice. I said, like, you're not living in a dairy farm in Wisconsin, and like almost immediately someone commented and said, I live on a dairy farm in Wisconsin and I have plenty of Black friends. Like, that's not an excuse. And that made me LOL, because like I expected it. I just didn't expect it to happen like within the first 5 minutes of me posting that video. But anywho, so I think it's a choice, and I don't think she should go out and like try and seek out a Black friend because, she's people are telling her to, or I don't know, she feels like the need to fill some quota. But I think she should reflect on herself and try and figure out why it is that she's living in the places that she has, the most diverse parts of this country. She hasn't managed to make a single like real connection with a Black person. I think it's weird, especially in the industry that she's in, fashion and media, and in like the 2020s. It's weird. I think it's fucking weird. And the reason why I unfollowed her is she is disseminating information. And although it is unverified, random, message board, anonymous nonsense. Like you cannot put any weight on anything that comes from that account. I followed her more so because I enjoyed the way she followed award shows, and she was very good about getting the pictures of these actresses or singers who were doing the red carpet up like real quick. So I very much appreciated her for that. I'm going to miss that, but page 6 is fine. Page 6 is great. They're gigglers, I can tell. So we like. So she disseminates information, albeit not like the most important information in the world. But I don't want anything that I'm consuming, my gossip even, to be filtered through someone who has avoided Black people in the most diverse places in this country for her whole entire life. And at this point, I think, leave it. I think at this point, you know what? We're better off. Anyways, that's why I feel that way. And that's all I have to say about that. The last thing that I do want to talk about, okay, is that girl who made the video about like New York City influencers are so boring. They're all the same. They all look the same. They all have the same little hand chains and they're all blonde and stupid and blah, 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 blah. And then Acquired Style took that video and like did a cute little duet with it where she was just like posing to each insult. It was cute. It made me laugh. Like it was the best thing that you could do with that, right? I mean, I would have done the same shit. She got fired. Turns out she works for like a big luxury fashion brand. And the reason why she went online and she said to like my 90 followers, the reason why I made that video is because we work with the same girls all the time. And it's just like, I'm boring and I hate it and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I was shocked when I saw in the beginning that she got fired for that video period. But when she said that she works in luxury fashion, and that like her company works, and it's like a big brand, her company works with these exact influencers that she's insulting all the time. I was like, well, should I delete this comment being like, oh my God, I'm sorry, girl? Because that's the dumbest thing ever. No, it's stupid as hell. What are you doing? You made a choice. I would have done that. I wouldn't have done that under any circumstances because I still want to leave on a positive note and I would want a reference or whatever. But like, I looked and the thing is her account, she doesn't even have 10,000 followers. And I only say that because that's when you get monetized on TikTok. So that video went super viral and I was like, I can understand not taking it down. It's decent money for a couple million views, right? She's not even monetized, right? So nothing. She got nothing except no job. Oh my God. But I struggle to feel bad for her because she knew this was not the kind of thing that you put on the internet. You don't disparage the clients or the stakeholders or brand partners of your company online in a forum that could go incredibly viral where millions of people will see, including almost immediately the exact people that your company does not want to see. What? So I hope you have a backup plan. I hope you have savings, but this was an unforced error of incredible magnitude, but you did start a great conversation. I think my favorite think piece and like thought that I think there was a lot of parallel thought in this vein, that the algorithm works towards your brain, right? So it's a reflection of what you're interacting with, what you're engaging with. So if your algorithm is showing you boring bitches, it's because you're a boring bitch. If your algorithm is showing you basic bitches, it's because in here, deep down, in a place that you do not want to admit, you are said boring bitch who wants the acceptance of those ladies, those ladies that are just living their fucking Pinterest life, doing their day in life, going to Pilates or hot whatever, Tracy Anderson, hand chain, just honest, Hallie Cake core, whatnot, you know? There's part of you that must really give a fuck about them because your FYP is full of them. That means you're only engaging with them. So if you would engage with people who look different or who provided you different content, like you obviously care about fashion, luxury, lifestyle, OOTDs, shit like that, right? There are the vast majority, they're not all blonde, and I'm specifically talking about like New Yorkers. There are different. There are so many plus size, mid size, specifically like fashion influencers that are in New York City, that live in New York City, that do deserve large followings who don't fit the mold. How many of them do you fucking follow? I would love to hear that from her. How, and if this is something that you care about, what you're just waiting. I don't believe her. I guess I just like something inside me just doesn't buy what the fuck she's selling, what she's saying. She sounds like a hater. And yeah, I guess I'm not so sad that she lost her job. No, that's bad. That's bad, Saron. I hope she finds her way. And I hope she, I don't know, diversifies her own following list. It starts at home, okay? The call is coming from inside the house, babe. Leave Hallie Kate out of it. Leave Hallie and her weenies out of it. She just adopted a deaf dachshund named Rusty. All right? It's gonna take a lot then. More than I think the blonde ones are boring. Okay. Then find another one. You don't need to only follow fashion influencers with like 3 million plus. You can't control who is signing up, who your company is working with. Okay. What would have been helpful is if you potentially stayed around long enough to not be so disposable and actually make decisions where you could influence who is being featured or who these big luxury brands are working with. But no, that's not what you did. That's not what you did. I don't know. I just like goal oriented work. And if there is no purpose, I mean, she did start a conversation, an important conversation that I ended with. This is her internal problem. So am I wrong? Let me know. All right, that's all I got for you today, especially considering this is the second time I'm doing this. So if this is a little late, you know what? I'm not going to edit this shit. You get what you get. You get what you motherfucking get. All right? It's insane that I'm even putting this up to begin with. All right? So please like, comment, and subscribe. The comments mean so much, especially on Apple, and Spotify too. But please comment, like, and very much subscribe so that I can keep growing. It's hard, but I love doing it. I do. And I'm really enjoying learning and getting better at this and like finding kind of my groove with how I want to talk about things and what I want to talk about and if I want to do segments. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Also, I am thinking about like doing an ask me anything, whatever, a Q&A kind of thing. So keep an eye out for that. Please follow me on Instagram to see when that happens. And honestly, my Instagram stories are just like my brain throwing up onto you, really projectile vomiting into your brain. And if that sounds like a good time to you, please. It's everything from pop culture stuff and like celebrity whatever to just like my random thoughts and following me throughout my day. I wish I could be the kind of girl that did like a day in the life. I could vlog and do like really aesthetic shots of me getting my morning coffee and like walking Henry and I don't know, returning things. Who the fuck am I talking about? I haven't returned an item. I don't know, since 2022. I'm just kidding, not 2022, but it's been like I return things like twice a year, and it's because I don't know. I, I'm like my B12 levels are really good that day. I don't know. It happens very rarely, but I fucking digress. I'm sorry. Please. I was doing so well this entire episode. I have no idea how I did 45 minutes without losing my train of thought at all. And saying goodbye. I'm like, what am I doing here again? I'm Saron, by the way. Nice to meet you. Okay. Anywho, so please like this shit, comment on this shit, subscribe to this shit. I love you so much. I will see you on the interwebs. Toodaloo.